Happy third day of Halloween, all. I'm Redtastic, and today I'm going to be making myself a quick zipper pouch with some fun vinyl print that I got from MissSoCool.com, or you can get her at Miss SoCal Vinyl on Etsy. And I figured out how to make it the right way. See? I'm smart. So she has a bunch of really cool, like Disney and inspired vinyls. This one, a lot of fun Halloween stuff, some Hocus Pocus, some Beetlejuice. So if you are interested in vinyl like this, go check her out. I'll put a link to it in the post I'm making. But I just wanted to make myself a little quick zipper bag out of this vinyl that I bought because I've never used it, and I bought it because it's awesome and I wanted it. So now I'm going to try to make something out of it. So I'm just going to make like a zipper bag that's lined, has a little handle on it so that you could use it as like a little purse. And I'm just going to use this vinyl, and this is some other fabric. She does fabrics as well, small prints of fabrics, and some other scraps that I had from my mask making. So the first thing I'm going to do is figure out how big I want my bag. I think this is a pretty good size. Measurement says it's like 5 by 8 to cut out. So I'm just going to cut this really quickly. And I'm so scientific. I'm using precise calibration with my cuts. No, because it's crafting. So now I've got 2 pieces for the outside of the bag. And I'm going to use this really hypnotic stripe. It's actually very thin, black and white stripe. That kind of look like Jack's suit. And I'm just gonna see about cutting these the same 5 by 8 as I have the vinyl. So I've got 2 pieces there, so it's double thick. That's all cut out. Got a piece here that was pretty awesome. So when you're sewing a zipper bag, I've got this, it's a 6-inch zipper, which is 7 inches. It gives you like a half an inch on each side. When you're sewing a zipper bag, you put the zipper face down on the right side of the outside of your fabric, and then sandwiches with the right side of the inside fabric, like that. And then you just sew across the top. I'm going to clip that in place with these sewing clips. But it's pretty much you just follow across the top, not anything major. You open up your zipper a little bit because the zipper, actually the little toggle in the middle of the zipper, the thing that goes up and down, gets in the way of the sewing. So you put the zipper about midway when you start, and then when you are sewing, once you get back to that zipper, you keep the needle of your machine down in your fabrics. Right here is where I'm. You put your needle down in your fabric, you lift your pressure foot, and you pull your zipper away from the needle so that you can sew with a nice flat edge on your zipper. one. You look at it and you say, oh look, I have a zipper on one side of my fabric and the inside of your bag. So when you do that, you flatten them with the wrong sides together, and then you lay a stitch all the way alongside that to keep it nice and flat. And so now I've got one side done. And here's my zipper. Put it to the middle again. Got the middle. You lay your outer fabric on top of the zipper where it's facing right, along the edge, like that. And then you do the same thing on the other side with the right side of your fabric for the inside. So they're sandwiched together, just like you did on the first side. And then you sew along it again. When you feel you're getting towards the zipper, the actual zipper mechanism, you lift your fabric, keep your needle in the fabric, pull up, so that now the zipper is actually out of the way, and you can just sew along the edge of the two fabrics and the zipper, edge, now you have two sides of your bag, both fabrics done. You flatten the fabric, the back to the inside of the purse and the outside of the purse, make it flat with wrong sides together, and then sew again so you have a nice flat edge. All right. Now, I'm not going to put a pocket or anything on the inside of this purse because I'm going to make myself another little bag to go inside it, a little change purse with a key ring on it. But this is where you would put one in if you were doing that. Just dropped what I was getting. I'm going to be adding right now one of the little labels that I had printed up just on some twill, cotton twill tape. Has a little stamp that says Redtastic Sweetly Stitch Creations. And so since I have them, I put them in all my stuff. So I'm going to put it on the inside top of the bag, just going through the inner layer because you don't want to go through the vinyl too. That wouldn't work well. I'm just sewing back and forth over the edge. The edge will be raw, and that's okay because it doesn't bother me. sew the other side. So now, this is where you get to the part where you're going to be actually sewing the final sewing on the purse. You put the right sides of the liner fabric together and the right sides of the outer fabric together, and you're going to sew around the edges, leaving a opening at the bottom edge of your liner so you can turn the whole thing inside out. Now I also want to add to this a D-ring so that I can have a little wristlet holder and just carry it around on my wrist, because I have these things and they're cool. So I just need a little piece of fabric to do that. So I'm going to grab a piece of fabric. From my huge piles of scraps, I'm going to cut it about 2 inches wide. Then I'm going to fold it over on itself, making sure that I don't have any raw edge. I folded it 4 times, and then I'm just going to stitch twice along each side of this so that it'll be a little finished thing. So there we have a thin piece, it's about 1/2 inch wide, that I can put around this D-ring like this so that I can place it inside the bag like that when I'm sewing it. On the 2 outside pieces, I'll sew it in between, and then it'll be secure and I'll have a little D-ring on the side. So I'm gonna really quickly sew this to itself. I made it big because I'm gonna use some more of it on another little purse I'm gonna be making to go with this later for the inside. A little change purse with a key ring on it. So it didn't hurt to be too big. Now I've stitched this together, and I'm going to put it inside the bag like that, fold over so that they're matching here, and then take one of my little clips, clip it into place, and just sort of clip around. So you've got the right sides of the front together and the right sides of the lining together. Like that. So now you're going to leave, this is the lining and the vinyl is the outside. You're going to leave about 2 inches at the bottom for where you turn your purse. And also you have to remember, and I'm going to check to make sure I did it, to make sure that the zipper is open to the middle, because if it's not, you're going to have a really hard time turning your purse right side out. And mine is not in the middle, so that would have been really bad. So here we go. Let's see. Grab this, pull it. Because then I'd be sitting here holding a bag that didn't open. Not saying I'd cry, but I probably would cry. Because I really like this fabric, and I'm excited to see how the vinyl works, because like I said, I haven't used vinyl before. I bought it because it was awesome, and now I'm actually making something out of it. So I'm gonna start with the bottom of the lining fabric, do a stay stitch, go to the corners, turn to the top. Now when you get to the zipper part, you're going to be going through some pretty thick fabric. Don't freak out. Your machine should be able to handle it. This is vinyl and stuff, and the machine hasn't like cried at me yet. It is an industrial machine, so it shouldn't be crying, but still. I've never used this fabric, so it could have cried. I don't know. Now I'm going to be up at the edge where there's a D-ring. No, I have it in here somewhere. There it is. Fell down when I was fixing that. Okay. Now, I went through the 4 layers of fabric for holding the D-ring on the side. And last corner of the liner. Turn. Do a stay stitch. That should be good. I've got first all the way sewn around except for right here. That's inside lining. Gonna clip the corners of the fabrics to make it less bulky when you turn at the corners. Here goes. Let's see what happens. I know my zipper's open because I opened it. Vinyl is a little hard to turn. Start just turning the vinyl. It'll help. It's very thick though. Where is it? Oh, there it is. It's like you're giving birth to a purse. Okay, vinyl, I get it. You're very thick, but we're gonna get you through here. Big puzzle. Well, the vinyl's not tearing, so it's standing up to me really yanking this around. Looks like we're almost there. It's starting to look like a little purse. This is not graceful at all. take my scissors, they have blunt edge. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna try to get the corners to poof out a little bit more. All right. Vinyl is definitely holding up to me yanking and pulling and stretching it. And see, got the little tag. This has the zipper, has the little loop that we put on there for putting a handle on later. And now all I have to do is pull the lining back out, which was much easier than turning it the other way, and sew the bottom edge so that when you put stuff in your purse, it doesn't get lost inside the lining between the purse's outer fabric and the liner. So just pull that together like that and sew a quick seam. Keep the thing closed. So there it is, the little zipper bag, all finished with the vinyl, which looks really nice. The seams, the edges, they look good. They don't look bad at all, actually, for the first time using vinyl to sew like this. The zipper works well. And I've got this fabric here, which looks like Sally's dress that I also got from Miss SoCal Vinyl on Etsy. And I figured I'd make myself a little bit of a little wristlet handle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this fabric, and it's been washed already, so I'm just going to take a little smudge off of it as it was not meeting up down there. And then I think I'll do it about 2 inches wide to start. So I'll just cut that. 1, 2. Put it down. And I'll take this and I'll fold it in half and then fold it in half on itself again. So it's like this. Take one edge of the fabric to the middle, the other edge of the fabric to the middle, and then fold it in half all the way down. So it's like you're making it a big piece of bias tape. You could do this on the iron, but I don't have an iron right here, and I'm lazy. So I'm just gonna fold it and sew it. When you're doing stuff like this, always make sure your needle's down in the machine when you're moving stuff around so that it doesn't creep up the fabric and it just gets really messy. So I'm going to go down it once on the edge of the seam and then once on the other side so that it has 2 lines going down it. Even though the other line isn't really holding anything together, it's keeping it flat to be a nice wristlet. So now we have the Sally dress fabric, and it can be a wristlet for right here. We use this little lobster clasp. I'm gonna fold it over like that and sew it in place. So it's on there securely. Then I'm gonna take this and fold it like that. Fold it under so you don't have any raw edge showing. See, I'm not gonna put it just like that because then you'd have this raw edge. Fold it like that, together like that. And then I'm gonna sew like a little square right here, here, here to there. And then put an X through the middle for extra security. So now that's all done. There's a little X in there for a little security. And I'm gonna get this last piece of thread because it's making me cuckoo. And now we can add this to the side. And I can put it through my wrist. And I have a little bag that I can take with me that is big enough to hold a face mask. And my car keys, if I had car keys, but these are about the size of my car keys, a little tiny zipper. And if I had any hand sanitizer right here, I could put that in there as well, and it could be my going out and facing the world bag. And it's wipeable, cleanable because it's vinyl, so I don't have to worry about that. And I really like the way it looks. I think it came out awesome for a pretty quick project. So, thanks for watching, and happy third day of Halloween.